Well, hey, this is Reverend Sean, and this is Center Path, and I'm going over different concepts in Buddhism and how to deal with things in daily life and bring these things into your daily life. And one of the things that I just went through, oh, did you see that right there? There we go. I just went through some discomfort and some pain and wanted to show you how I help myself get through it and deal with it using some Buddhist concepts. So pain or suffering is, we would say, inevitable. Right? It's going to be there. There is going to be some discomfort. And it depends on how we process it and what we do with it that decides our next moments or rebirths into the next kind of like ways of being. And this has to do with intention and our karma or actions, right? So I just had, if you can see this little thing right here, little plastic that I have on my arm, and I still have some of the dye, which is from the like a betadine that they use to sterilize. I had an angiogram, which means they took a tube and they put it up through the artery, not through the vein, through the artery, all the way into my heart, and they looked at pictures of my heart and see how the flow is and all that kind of stuff. And the good news is I've got good flow. But the process to get prepared for it was really uncomfortable for me. And there was a lot of anxiety I noticed coming up, but I've been working on this a lot. I have a lot of like cardiac issues that I've been dealing with, and that causes what's called cardiophobia, which is you get into your head about all of these things and you think that everything is the end of one, and it can be very, very difficult. So I've been trying to how do I put, the metal to the grindstone, the rubber to the road? How do I make sure that I'm using my concepts that I'm practicing to get through these kind of things? Now, pain's going to be there. When they tried to stick the needle in, they did try it in my hand, but the skin on the back of my hand's too thick, and that was painful. I felt like they were sticking a unsharpened needle through my arm, and so they ended up going through the antecubital space, which is in front of the arm, and finding a good vein and all that kind of stuff. But that was uncomfortable the entire time. They kept telling me there's no needle there. It's just a catheter, which is a little like a tube. So gory details. Anyway, I had to really work with my own breathing and my own mind to help me from withdrawing or becoming in so much pain that I amplified it for myself, because that's one of the things that actually happens. You start to kind of amplify the pain for yourself, and then it causes more stress and anxiety, and then you start changing your physiology, and pretty soon you're kind of just focused on pain. So what I had to do is I had to start my breathing techniques. Now remember, breathing is something that we can conceptualize as cyclical, of course, because you breathe in and then breathe out, right? It's cyclical, it's continual, hopefully, and we continue to breathe in and out. And so I had to use that. So I had to do a few different focusing techniques. Number one was closing my eyes, which I could do pretty easy because they were working on other stuff. I would close my eyes and focus right up and through here. And as I would breathe in, I would try to feel that air enter through my nostrils so that I had more sensory things, right? And I would try to speak to myself, breathing in or rising 1, breathing out or releasing 2. So I was going rising 1, releasing 1, rising 2, releasing 2, rising 3, releasing 3. And this is all while they were trying to figure stuff out, and they were putting drapes on me and shaving my arm and shaving my groin. Luckily they didn't have to go through my groin, and that was another contention for me of high anxiety, because I didn't want to have them go through that artery. That's a very big artery, and I figured it would be painful. But they do give you, of course, medication to relax and stuff like that. But I was finding that I was more up here problem than I was even the pain in my body. So using that breathing technique helped me. So that's something you can do. Now you can also start to look around the room, which the room I was in, everything was white or beige or really not much color. So I didn't have a chance to do any of those techniques, like look for 5 things that are blue and 4 things that are green or whatever. I had to kind of be in my own head. So the breathing technique was simple: breathing in 1, or rising 1, falling 1, rising 2, and I would only get to about 5 or 6, and I'd lose count, or something would happen that would distract me, someone speaking to me or something like that, and I was able to come back. But that put the anxiety so far lower, my blood pressure dropped, my pulse rate dropped, to the point the alarm was going off. Actually, it was going nice and low, so I was feeling much better. And my own anxiety had decreased, and I was able to really be more in that moment. Very difficult to do when you're in pain. We always hear about these stories like Tik Duck Kwang, I think was his name. And remember, he was the monk that set himself on fire back in the 60s, like 63, I believe, in Vietnam, in Saigon, old Saigon, which is Ho Chi Minh City, in protest of some things. And he sat there through the whole process, and that was horrendous. And there was so many other, we have these like ideas and these stories of these monks and these adepts and people that went through incredible pain. And all I was going through was a freaking needle in my wrist, actually a needle in my arm. And that was enough pain to really knock me out or knock me off, right? I was getting very anxious. I shouldn't be that anxious. I should be. I mean, it's a physiological thing. My body does not like holes in it. It thinks that the blood that's inside should stay on the inside. And that's a very, very valid thing. And going through different kinds of procedures that are uncomfortable are a common thing in life. I'm getting to the age where this is going to be more common in a couple weeks, a couple months. I'm going to have some more stuff done. But I would just wanted to like explain a little bit on how to use mindfulness and breathing techniques for pain. There we go. That's my trick for you. Try it. Tell me if it's worked for you, or tell me what's worked for you, because I want to know, because I need to learn new techniques too. A lot of them I just forget. So if you have one that's really good, let me know. I'd love to, and I'll do a video on it or something, okay? Talk to you guys later. Take care of yourselves, and don't forget to breathe. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. This is the new video, that's subscription, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.